Welcome back to the Wealth Fact. Today we're talking about something that feels harmless, almost invisible, but has driven thousands of people into financial ruin. Comparison. Specifically, the comparison that social media plants into your mind every single time you scroll. Because comparison isn't free, and for many people, the cost shows up in their credit card statements, in their empty bank accounts, and their quiet anxiety of living a life they can't afford. Let's fill your pocket. Comparison isn't something new. Seneca wrote that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Humans have always measured themselves against their neighbors, their house, their land, their harvest, their clothing. But here's the new difference. The neighbors used to be the person next door, but here's the difference now. The neighbors used to be the person next door. Now, the neighbors are the 7 billion people with staged lives in your pocket, available every second of the day. Social media is not reality, it's just a highlight reel. Nobody posts their credit card statements, nobody shows their overdraft fees, nobody shows the nights they spend crying because they can't make rent. They show the vacations, the luxury car, the designer handbags, and the rooftop dinners with friends. You don't see the stress, the debt, the fights at home. You just see the image. You just see the image in your head. And your brain seeks that status. You think, I should have that too. And so you reach into your wallet. This is where the cost kicks in. You weren't planning to buy a new phone, but your feed convinced you that yours is outdated. You weren't planning to go on that trip, but you saw your friends in Mexico, and suddenly it feels like life is passing you by. You weren't planning to upgrade your car, but now that you see everyone in a Tesla or a Mercedes, your Nissan makes you feel like a failure. One swipe at a time, you're not just scrolling, you're spending. And because most people don't have the cash, they borrow it. They pay to keep up with others with their credit cards. And that's the cost of comparison. And it's not just financial debt, it's psychological. Every time you compare yourself, you tell yourself, I am behind. I'm not enough. My life is inadequate. That message gets heavier the more you see. It eats at your confidence and pushes you into purchases that you didn't even need. Comparison doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your joy. This isn't an accident. Social media platforms are engineered to keep you hooked by playing on your desire for status. They know comparison drives engagement. They know envy fuels scrolling. They know that when you see someone else's life, you stay glued, hoping for more, wondering how you measure up. And every time you compare, advertisers are waiting. They slide in with the solution. Feel behind? Buy this. Feel inadequate? Upgrade that. The algorithm feeds on your insecurity, and the debt industry is ready for your next purchase. So how do you break the cycle? The first step is perspective. Social media is not real life. It's a show, a stage, a carefully scripted life. Every photo edited, every moment handpicked. What you're looking at is no different than watching a drama on TV. They aren't really living that way. They're just performing. Meanwhile, you're living your life in real time with real consequences. Don't put yourself in a financial hole for a quick story or a selfie that vanishes in 24 hours, posted for people that don't even care. The second step is reframing. You can still scroll, you can still look, but shift your lens. Instead of thinking, I need that right now to feel complete, see it as, one day I'd love a kitchen like that. As inspiration. There's a world of difference between saying, wow, that's something I'd like to work towards, and I need to swipe my card today because what I already have isn't good enough. The third step is to return to your world. Ask yourself, what do I really want? How do I want to spend my time, my money, and my future? Most people don't know a thing about cars, yet they buy the fastest, flashiest cars just to show off. Maybe what they really wanted was something reliable, feel efficient, or comfortable, but they chase the applause. Don't let someone else's highlight reel tell you what should matter in your life. And finally, status. You can't buy it. Well, not really. You can pay to have it for a moment with a luxury purchase, but the second you stop feeding that cycle, it disappears. Real status, real respect comes from values, consistency, and actually building something. The kind of status that doesn't vanish when the applause stops. The cost of comparison is real, and it shows up in your debt, in your stress, and in that quiet fear that you're not enough. But you are. You don't need another car to prove it. You don't need another vacation. You don't need to mirror someone else's highlight reel to live a good life. The richest people aren't those who look wealthy online. The richest people are those who are free, free from envy, from debt, and from the endless scroll of inadequacy. Until next time.